What's good, everybody? It's your boy Agent P of the GL up here to give you guys your Nuggets talk recap for the Orlando Magic and the Denver Nuggets. Magic Nuggets tonight. Magic Nuggets. Everyone loves Magic Nuggets, right? Let's go ahead and get into the first quarter. 6:39 mark. Denver's up 15-10. Denver started out hot. Porter hit a couple threes early, and the team shot 5 of 8 overall. Porter did have 2 early fouls. He was in foul trouble throughout this game. End of the first quarter, it was tied 28-28. Both teams were exactly even, just like the score showed. It was 28-28, and they both shot exactly 50% from the field in the first quarter. Halfway through the second, it was 41-40 Orlando. Bench unit for Orlando was playing well. Had 24 bench points up to that point, so more than half of their overall points up to that point in the second were scored by their bench. So really good output from their bench unit in the first half. Got around to the minute mark in the second quarter. It was 56-54 Denver. Again, both of these teams are scoring really well in this one. There was a challenge play. Aaron Gordon tried to do a fake. He hit a rondo and tried to go fake behind his back. Looked like he got an and one, but they overturned it, called it an offensive foul. Looked like a good call. Cole Anthony was set. And it ended up being 62-56 at the half. Jokic had 13, 8, and 5. Reggie Jackson with a good first half, 14 points. Michael Porter Jr. with 15, and Aaron Gordon with 11. So a pretty good start from Denver in the first half. Then we get into the third quarter here. 6:48 mark of the third. It was 73-72 Magic this time. Porter continues to score well. He was up to 19 at that point, but Franz and Paolo went on a quick 7-0 run. Franz hit a layup and a 3, and then Paolo got himself a bucket as well to give Orlando the lead at that point. 79-79 again with 3 minutes left. Both these teams, again, like I was talking before, playing really even here. And then the Nuggets went on a nice little run at the end of the third, 88-82 after 3. Sorry, I'll say that again, 88-82 after 3. Really nice stint from the bench unit here. Once Jokic sat out, Denver's bench went on an 8-2 run to close out that quarter. Overall, it was 14-5. Bench versus bench in that third quarter. So we talked about Orlando having a really good bench start in the first half. Nuggets came back here in the third, and their bench unit ended up making some good plays to close the third. Fourth quarter was tight. It was 10-10, or at the 10-10 mark, 93-91 Denver. Gary Harris hit a 3, and that prompted a timeout from Coach Malone. 4 minutes left. Jokic got destroyed by Cole Anthony and Jalen Suggs. Going up for a rebound, and then Jalen Suggs, as he got up, did a little flop. And then after the fouls were called on both guys, Jalen Suggs was getting up, getting the crowd riled up. I get it, man. From an Orlando perspective, you're a bunch of young guys. You're playing the defending champions, and Jalen Suggs is already a bat out of hell. That dude plays 110%. You tell he's a football player when you watch him play, because that dude is full speed ahead. But I respect it. I respect him, the way he plays and how he tries to go hard. I get it. Some people on the Nuggets side might not like it, but you just need guys like that to hoop and win, and he's one of those guys. Last couple possessions down the stretch, 27 seconds left. It was 118, 115. Jokic hit a layup, cut it to 1, play the free throw game a little bit. Gogo Batadze actually hit a couple free throws. Jokic came back, got another layup. And then Jalen Suggs came back down, hit a couple free throws. 122, 119 with 4 seconds left. Long pass from Aaron Gordon got stolen by Franz Wagner. They fouled him, and that is your ball game. Orlando wins in Orlando over the Nuggets, 124-119. Everyone's favorite segment, what did Jokic do tonight? He had another triple-double. Finally played more than 30 minutes. The last 2 games have not been kind from the officiating standpoint, but tonight, in 36 minutes, Jokic was great. 30 points, 13 rebounds, 12 assists on 12 of 18 shooting. And honestly, I honestly thought it could have been a little bit better, which is like crazy to say off of a 30-point triple-double, but like he had Goga Batadze and Mo Wagner guarding him in this game. I kind of wish he got like 50 against these dudes. They had no chance, especially Batadze. And they went back to him in the fourth. I tweeted from that point on when Batadze checked back in, I think it was about 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. I was like, Jokic, post up every possession rest of this game. And they didn't do that. And they still found a way to almost win this game. It's just a little bit tough down the stretch. I'm not too mad at it, but Jokic should have got the ball in the post and punished these dudes every single night. One of those games, not going to be too mad at it. The headlines from this one, other than Jokic, obviously, Michael Porter Jr., really good night offensively. 25 points and 5 of 9 from 3. The 3-point shot looks like it's back. We've been talking about it for a while. Porter is just when he has that 3-point shot clicking, his value just shoots up immensely, and the 3-point shot looks locked in. So we're happy about that part. But the defense is the thing that we still got to talk about here. We've lauded him for his defense a lot of the times in the season. It's okay to criticize him in this moment. He got hunted out in this game. Franz Wagner was looking to get switched on him down the stretch, and he was getting anywhere he wanted when Michael Porter Jr. was guarding him one-on-one. I think this is the thing Porter has to remember, even though Franz is pretty much he's almost the same height as Mike. Mike's a little taller. But you're playing Franz Wagner. Play him back. Play him for the jump shot. Don't play him for the drive. Don't let him have that kind of space. And you got to use your length to contest. Michael Porter Jr. is very handsy already. He likes to put his hands on people to feel the defenders. I think it's more for because from a lateral movement standpoint, he really doesn't have it there. So I think he obviously wants to try to keep his hands on guys just so he can have a better feel of where he's going defensively. But that can get him in a lot of trouble. And he was early foul trouble in this one, and it caught up to him in the fourth. CB ended up going back and forth and switching with him a couple possessions late. So something Mike has to keep figuring out. For the most part, he's been good. Tonight was just a little bit of a step back. He should be all right, though. AG at 15 and 10, solid line, but I really didn't feel his presence in this game. And then Reggie Jackson, after scoring 14 points in the first half, went for a donut in the second half. One turnover. He just wasn't good. I mean, he was hitting some shots. He had a big-ass rainbow three to start the game in the first quarter, but after that, second half really didn't have much of an impact. And KCP, scoring-wise, really didn't have much of an impact either. So, in terms of the bench, other than that really nice third-quarter stint, I only really count two guys who had solid efforts tonight, and that's Christian Braun and Julian Strawther. Julian Strawther had 7 points, and his hustle was very evident in this one. Christian Braun had 13 and 7 boards. He continues to play well during this stretch. That's a CB that we need, and I like to see the confidence continue. And I mentioned those two not just because they played well in tonight's game. I think this is something we're going to forecast as the season goes on, that of the young guys in this group, Christian Braun and Julian Strawther are going to be the ones that end up separating themselves and become the young guys off this bench that this team counts on, because they are both so similar in that they are both really good connecting players. They know how to screen at the right time. They know how to cut at the right time. They know when to make the right pass. If it's not there for them, they give the ball up and keep the ball moving, cut. Whatever it takes as being a good connecting player, both of them are good at that. And they both are good at similar things. It's kind of, even though one is better than the other at the thing. So, for example, Christian Braun is the better defender. He's a really good lockdown defender, very disciplined. But Julian Strawther, at least he competes on that end, and he is 6'7", so he does have some length in order to compete on the defensive end. And then shooting. Julian Strawther is obviously the better shooter, but Christian Braun is, especially when he's confident, he does well in that regard as well. And you saw Christian Braun hit a couple more threes tonight. He looks confident, man. You can see him finally finding ways to pick his spots well offensively, getting to the basket and pulling up from three with confidence. That's all I could ask for from Christian. So I think these two guys are really going to start separating themselves. And once Jamal comes back, the bench unit's just going to fill in really nicely. Once Reggie Jackson comes in, I foresee it being Reggie, Strawther, Christian Braun, and then Peyton Watson and Zeke kind of rounding out that five, and then just going all switch, all attack to the basket, and kind of going from there. I think the bench unit will be better for it. But speaking of Peyton, we got to talk about it, man. He had a bad game in this one. There was a particular play in the third where Christian Braun saved a ball. Probably wasn't the best under his own basket, but we still could have got it. Julian Strawther dove for the ball, but Peyton didn't. And Coach Malone noticed that right away, yanked him out of the game, and he did not come back for the rest of the game. Peyton has to step up, and he has to be a hustle guy. He can't be a go-to scorer yet. He doesn't have that in his bag. That's not his game. That's not what this team needs from him. This team needs him to be the guy that gets those weak side blocks, those things that he's really good at. Hustle on defense, move the ball, cut, screen. Be a good connecting player like Christian and Julian. You do those things, you will see court action. So I like Malone saying, hey, man, if you're not going to step up in the ways that we need you, we're not going to put you on the court. He's not a good outside shooter either. So we're talking about him needing to do the little things in order to stay on the court. I think he can, but he has to show that he can continue to do that on a consistent level. And that's what this season's for, right? We're not even out of November yet. So keep plodding along, keep plodding along. Hopefully by January, we see some real progress. And if after All-Star break, we're still asking these questions, then it's going to get a little bit scary. But for right now, keep working out the kinks. But I do want to see him string together a couple of good games here. Zeke kind of feels like a lost cause, man. I don't know. He's fine, but we just need Zeke to continue to try to do the good things he does well. Offensive rebound, hit a three every once in a while, and switch well on defense. I think there was a good adjustment from Malone in the second half. In the first half, they were just switching everything, and then they were getting smalls on Wagner for no reason. In the second half, they did continue to switch everything, but they kept Zeke on Wagner, even on ball screens, and that helped Denver get out to a nice little run to end that third quarter. I thought it was a nice adjustment by Malone, so that was a good shout out for Coach there. But other than that, I didn't really have anybody else. Pickett was kind of forgettable as well. For the Magic, to pace the Magic, Franz had 27 in this one, and Paolo had 23. They shot 54% as a unit and outscored Denver, like I said, in the fourth, 42-31 to seal that victory. Denver shot okay, 47% from the field, and had 29 assists. So not a lot to be mad at from a stats perspective. It was a one-possession game for most of that last minute of the fourth, and then just a missed shot, turnover, a couple free throws. It happens. But now Denver drops 3 of 4 on this road trip, and now they're going to go to Houston this Friday for their final IST game. Houston's not really playing well either. They're coming off of 3 recent losses. Don't know what they're doing against the Grizzlies tonight, but both teams kind of struggling a little bit, but it looks like we're going to have 2 kind of struggling teams going into an IST game that is going to be monumental in terms of trying to get past this stage and get into the knockout round. Denver would need to win. They're going to need some help, but they're going to win this game against Houston, and then hopefully New Orleans loses, and that's the easiest way for them because then they'd win the group. If not, and New Orleans wins, they're going to win the group. Denver would have to win against Houston and win by a lot for their point differential to be one of the top 2 as a wild card in order to advance to the knockout stage. So we'll see how it goes. They did get some help from the Lakers yesterday by having them destroy Orlando or the Jazz. So hopefully this Friday, everything becomes a little bit clearer and Nuggets can get a victory, win by a lot, and then just put all that doubt to bed and move on to the knockout stage. But we will see how it goes. And once again, thank you guys for listening to the Nuggets Talk Recap. I'm your boy, Agent P of the GLP. Thank you again. See you next time.